everybody. So we had a huge gap overnight after a deal with China was announced. This is something that you don't see often, but we did see something similar not too long ago. I think the difference here is that I don't remember the other one, but that we had. But this is so we had a big gap, and then we had, so from the close down here, we open here. So that was the first gap, right? And then there was another one. It's not technically a gap, but there's a huge move up that left single print. So we have two distributions on the overnight sessions. I had posted the levels last night on Discord, but like with this other push, we took all the levels to the upside. So now we're trading inside February's range, right? So if you see this, it's kind of hard to see because it's so big, but you see that this drop right here was kind of like a meltdown, with barely any highs. There was one little high here, but like the market couldn't find a balance, right? And this drop. So all this range is gonna have low resistance, in my opinion. Like, has very poor structure. There's a little bit of volume here and some more here, but excuse me. But this, we could, in my opinion, we could go through pretty fast because of that. So the first thing we want to look at is, do we hold this gap and keep squeezing higher, or do we come back into value, which right now value is down here. But when you have gaps this big, it's kind of hard to go back and fill them. Although in this environment we've seen that happen, so it wouldn't surprise me either. So what I'm gonna be looking at is, first, do we hold the first upward distribution, right? And do we come back down to this high volume node that's from in the 90-day point of volume profile, we have this 58.18 that it coincides with the bottom of this distribution. So do we retest this, and then from there, do we start cleaning the single prints? And if we do, then we're gonna be retesting this 200 moving average. So this area is gonna provide some support, right? Because not only we have those single prints, but we also have the 200 moving average. We have this lower distribution here, and we have April's high here. So if this breaks, then it's very likely that we come back and through this distribution and then fill the gap, or attempt to fill the gap to 57.10, and then come back to value and then negate this whole move. If this holds, then we could just stay here, stay rotational, maybe extend a little bit. There's some minor resistance up here above the, right below 5900. So it could be that we stay rotational here, try to get lower, try to get higher, and go nowhere, right? So that's a strong possibility, given also that it's Monday. So, taking it one area at a time, it'll help us see where this market is going. And Q, I had this also. That was actually the last target I had posted last night, 29.30, and we're trading here. Tested this low volume node. See how the structure on this is a little cleaner. I had this red area marked from before at 21,000, and we bounced right there. So, but same thing, you know, that double distribution. Look for the single prints. The difference here is the 200 moving average is below, right? It's right at the previous week's high. So you're not gonna have that strong of support here in the middle of the single prints and NQ. So in the case that we move above the 21,000, then 130 is my first target, and then above that is the 21,300 area, right? We have a little bit of consolidation here from back in February. Let's see what Crude did. Crude had a huge move up, and as I had mentioned the other day, if we get above this area, 63 was the target, and then now we're trading over there. Now we have some resistance here. In the 64 area, and if we break up, if we are able to hold above it, then look at this very high volume node. That's the 90-day point of control at 66.30. So that's gonna be a target over there, and if not, we're likely gonna trade in this range between 61.40 and 63.80. And gold. So I had a little bit of support in this area, but then we're able to break it with this drop this morning. That's a big drop, right? But we have this. Remember, I was mentioning this large distribution that's been forming, and then we have this low volume node right here, and we held right there. So now we're probably gonna keep trading inside this range. So watch this 31.95, 3200 area for support. And then if we break that, then 31.55 is the target to the downside. We don't have much news today, so but probably some tweets could move this market very quickly. All right, good luck.